Welcome, guys, to another episode of El Gallinero. This should be our second episode, but we kind of had some technical difficulties with our new head of media. He kind of messed up, but he'll get to keep his job. But so from now on, we're gonna be kind of breaking down the week, the season, and what we have coming up for the NPSL, Major League Soccer, and overseas soccer, and just kind of chime in on how the business side of things, the trade side of things, and all that, how everything works at this level and at a level of the MLS, and the differences, etc. And just kind of bring you guys good content and talk about it and go from there. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We'll have guests throughout the week, our weekly podcast, and hopefully you guys enjoy the show. So let's get it going. You guys already know Scotty, so how's it going today, Scotty?
It's going well, man. Glad to be here. It's been a good day today, so just excited to be here.
Yeah. So what do we have this week?
Yeah, so like Eddie said, we're gonna kind of break down the show into 4 separate categories. So we'll start out with a little bit of NPSL news as our first category. Basically, we've got a lot of conference alignments this week. The schedules are almost done, so that's good. A lot of teams are getting everything set up, but the Keystone Conference is going to split into 2 for the 2023 season. So it's going to be the Keystone East and the Keystone West. Teams from the Rust Belt Conference and Great Lakes Conference will be realigned under the Great Lakes Conference name. And a new conference will be joining the Midwest region known as the Gateway Conference. The Southeast Conference will move from the East region to the South region, and the Heartland Conference will move from the South region to the Midwest region. So there's a few teams that are moving for these conferences to better help with the travel. So Club Athletico St. Louis from the Heartland Conference, they're going to be going to the Gateway Conference. FC Milwaukee Torrent from the Great Lakes Conference is going to go to the Gateway Conference. First State FC from Mid-Atlantic Conference Keystone will go, or Mid-Atlantic Conference is going to go to the Keystone East Conference. And Sunflower State out of Missouri is going to go, Kansas actually, they're located in Kansas, going to go from Heartland Conference to the Gateway Conference. So basically, the reason for all these moves is new expansion, right? It's always great, to have expansion. So, a couple of the ones to point out for the Gateway Conference is Des Moines United, Des Moines United FC, Atar Belleville FC, and the Iowa Raptors FC. And the Keystone Conference is going to be Philadelphia Union Developmental Squad. One we're really excited to have back this year in the Lone Star Conference is West Texas FC. It's basically the old Midland Sockers. So they're coming back this year, so it's great to have more teams on the West. The Mid-Atlantic Conference has Annapolis Blues FC, Greenville United, Virginia Dream FC, and the Southeast Conference is going to have 865 Alliance, Charlottetown Hops FC. The Southwest Conference is going to have California Odyssey FC. So overall, you're always going to get, conference moving over the years. You won't see too much conference moving in the Lone Star Conference because we're all Texas-based teams. But love to see the movement. It gives an opportunity for other teams to play each other and create rivalries through the years. And it's just great business practice too, getting all these teams together. So as our business expert here can explain, a little bit of reasoning behind that as well.
Oh yeah, it has a lot to do with money too. I think one of the biggest expenses you have in the club is travel. Your travel expenses are maybe 35% of your entire budget. So if you're able to get sponsorships and agreements with like traveling agencies or companies with with bus and stuff like that, then it's just so much easier on the financial side of things. So and I think a lot of teams drop out and come back, or they take a year off. It has to do with finances, and this is a lot of these movements are based on that too as well. Like we don't want to travel to, you know, far away cities because it gets expensive. So you know, rearranging this conferences sometimes is based on that. So but I'm glad, you know, everybody ownership is you know, it's great with this. We all work together to get this in the right shape and form. And I think we're very lucky that we have a lot of big cities around us where there's not a lot of traveling, right? So, I mean, think about it. If you're in West Texas, I mean, how many teams are really around you? Not only to pick players, right, get good talent, but also so you don't have to travel that much for games, right? So I think we're very fortunate to be in the city that we're in, and you know, I'm glad things are working out for us this way.
Absolutely. So continuing with the NPSL, Andy Hogarth returns to the NPSL as head coach of Akron City FC. So he's been the coach at Walsh University for 7 seasons, and each year the program has continued to progress, reaching the 11th in the nation during the 2022 season. And he was actually the coach of AFC Cleveland, very good team in the North. Knew a couple players from them, so very excited to see what he could do, as he was a good coach with AFC Cleveland. Prior to moving to the United States, though, he completed an exercise science degree at Northumbria University in Newcastle. Enjoyed a successful semi-professional career with the likes of Whitley Bay FC, Crooktown FC, and Easington Colliery FC. He also worked at Middlesbrough Football Club, coaching in the community and delivering health and fitness programs. So obviously, you know, AFC Akron have a good acquisition there in the coaching ranks. I think his track record speaks for itself as far as, you know, the type of caliber of a coach he has. And I've seen it firsthand with AFC Cleveland, you know, just a tremendous club, you know, from top to bottom. So very excited for them. Glad we don't play them because it's a very good move for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to switch into a little bit of MLS news. So basically, FC Dallas has a comeback win versus the LA Galaxy. They saw a familiar face rise to the occasion at Toyota Stadium on Saturday evening. Jesus Ferreira struck for a brace, and FC Dallas 3-1 comeback win over the LA Galaxy on match day 2. And FC Dallas bounced back from season opening 1-0 loss to Minnesota United on MLS's back weekend. So great win for FC Dallas. Jesus Ferreira is a talented player.
What a player. What a phenomenal player. Oh my God. I'm shocked that he's not playing like in a big club overseas or in Mexico. I mean, this kid is unreal.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good he is. Why do you think they haven't made the move to, you know, sell him overseas, or you know, that's very, very shocking to me, because that kid is a stud.
You know, I think a lot of it has to do, you know, his contract locked up in MLS right now. Obviously, teams can buy out the contract. They can do transfers and stuff like that. But I think he's happy here in the U.S. right now. I think, you know, clubs are definitely having him on their radar. I think they're just taking time for him to develop his game a little bit more. The fact that he's on the U.S. national team, played in the World Cup in one of the last games, didn't get a ton of minutes, but I think, you know, more game time on the U.S. national team is only going to help him get noticed by the other clubs. So
that could be their superstar if they nurture him really well. That could be their freaking superstar, man. Because he's good, he's got it all. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So our neighbors to the south, about a couple hours, took home a 1-0 win over FC Minnesota, thanks to an 88th minute goal from Maxi Rudy. It helped turn the page for their match day 1 heartbreaking defeat at the hands of expansion side St. Louis City SC. And 3 days before their CONCACAF Champions League debut, and things are suddenly looking up again for the 2022 Western Conference finalists. You know, Austin FC, they bring out a great product, right? They fill that stadium every week. They know what they're doing. So it's just exciting to see, brand new teams, beautiful facility. Never been to a game, but, driven past it. And, Austin FC, congratulations to them. They're doing it well down there. So,
I mean, all I hear is great thing about their fan base. That's literally, how teams have that thing that defines them. Like FC Dallas, their academy is just amazing, right? Super expensive, but amazing. But Austin FC, everybody that I talked to from Austin or everybody involved in the sport of soccer, that's all they talk about. Have their fan base, it's crazy good, and they're committed. So hey, I'm excited. I actually want to go down there and go to one of their games. So I'm really considering making the drive. Either next season or something, but I really want to see them live. I mean, I've been to the FC Dallas game, and I know there are neighbors, but I mean, if you're not really on the El Matador, then you're not really chanting and getting crazy. I'm hearing that Austin FC is just crazy all around the stadium, and those are atmospheres that you really enjoy, and makes you enjoy the game, and you get really into it. So we'll see. I really want to check them out.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to go. So we're going to take it quite a bit southeast from here. Inter Miami head coach Phil Neville. He's very happy with a 2-0 win over the Philadelphia Union, but he's not satisfied. 2 goals. The goals scored from Quarantine Jean and Robert Taylor were the difference. So Saturday's result was Miami's second straight 2-0 home win to start the year, having beaten CF Montreal on MLS's back weekend. So Philadelphia, they were in the championship last year, right? They lost in penalties to LAFC. Philadelphia, they've been.
What a game that was, Scotty.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game?
Gareth Bale, man.
Oh my! I was at Twin Peaks, and it was crazy how nobody there was there to watch the game.
Right.
We were just having a few drinks. I mean, I went to watch the game with my friends, but nobody at the actual place was there for the game. And then, boom! All of a sudden, when those goals started coming in on the last seconds, the entire bar is just going at it. And I was like, wow, what a fucking game! It was amazing. Yeah.
So I wanted LAFC to win just because being a Chicago Fire fan growing up, we had a lot of issues with Philadelphia, Chicago, Philadelphia, that huge rivalry for years. So, plus, I mean, you figure the Eagles lost, the Phillies lost, now the Union lost, like all 3 teams in Philadelphia lost the championship this year. I'm not too mad about that, but, yeah, so I mean, but getting to that point, like Philadelphia, all credit to them. But the fact that Inter Miami, started off the season so well against a good Philadelphia side. Jim Curtin, their head coach, former Fire legend. I respect the guy so much. He's just intelligent, knows the game, and the fact that he turned Philadelphia around from what they were. All credit to Jim Curtin, but good on Inter Miami for getting that win. And then, did you see LAFC's championship rings?
Yeah, I saw them on Twitter.
They're black.
Man, yes, it's crazy. It's you don't like them?
I don't.
What?
So I've got a couple championship rings myself through other soccer ventures, and I'm classic white gold kind of guy, like the classic silver that everyone sees. So this, I don't know, maybe it'll grow on me. There's a couple other teams who started unveiling, the black rings, but I don't know. I wasn't a fan, maybe someday they'll grow on me, but
so the one that I'll never, I think it was the Avalanche. Whoever won the NHL last year, they got these rings. They're unreal. I saw them on Twitter too, but yeah, I saw LFC. I liked them. I think unique, and it's such a special occasion that you got to go with something different all the time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're working on getting Gallos FC some rings this year. That's in the plan, right? I kind of need some more in my trophy case, but yeah, so congrats to LAFC on those rings. Definitely something, to cherish for the rest of their lives. So they received these rings on match day 2 opener against the Portland Timbers at BMO Stadium. And they came out victorious as a 3-2 win. So just the other 2023 attack is just as lethal despite the loss of Chicho Arango, transferred to Pachuca and Liga MX, and Gareth Bale, who retired. Legendary Italian center back Giorgio Chiellini scoring his first MLS goal since arrival from Juventus midway through their domestic double campaign. As coming from an Italian background, my grandma was born in Italy. I have so much respect for Chiellini. I think he's a great defender, and the fact that he's still kicking and doing in MLS right now, all the credit to him. People call it a retirement league, but it really isn't. I don't believe it being a retirement league. So,
no. I mean, look at it. Look at the talent. I mean, it's crazy how. I mean, I think with the World Cup coming, yes, it's going to be even bigger. But what they have done in this past maybe 10 years, it's just unreal. To be able to build franchises like that and fan bases like that, and what they've done for the sport of soccer. I remember I was at my friend's house. This was in 2014, I think. So it was like 9 years ago, or 2013. I was at my friend's house, and a few guys came over to his house, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, we play for FC Dallas, blah blah blah." And everybody's like, "What? Who? What kind of team is that? Whatever." I knew who they were, right? But everybody else was like clueless about it. Now, this guys, it was man, I have to ask them. But now they're like they play for Chicago Fire now. And it's crazy how the level of involvement with the fans and people, with soccer, what MLS have built is crazy. So no, I don't think it's a retirement league. I think I mean, the fact that LAFC has Vela, right, and he's not going anywhere, that shows you everything, because he could easily go to Newcastle, Man City. I think so. I think he's talented enough to go to one of those, those clubs. But
absolutely. I mean, yeah, over the years, Toronto FC bringing in Giovinco, it's like, it's definitely, is it at the level of the Premier Leagues right now? No. Will it get there someday? You would hope so.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I mean, to have 30 teams plus, potentially teams in Vegas and San Diego coming up, or Phoenix, I'm hearing some rumblings of that. So just to be able to get, a couple MLS teams keep going there and building the league, it's just huge, for everyone in this country, for the soccer scene. So we're going to bring us into our next section we call Across the Pond. And we're going to go to England. Now, this pains me to say as a Chelsea fan, this next headline is, it's tough, right? There are arch rivals, hated them for years. But you can't fault them. I mean, you really can't. So Arsenal beating Bournemouth 3-2 in the 97th minute after being down 2-0. So credit to Arsenal. I missed the goal. I was actually getting ready to go to the baseball games, and all of a sudden my friends are coming into the bathroom screaming, Arsenal just scored. They had a couple of friendly wagers on it, so unfortunately Arsenal scored, ruined my day, but that's okay.
No, Gilbert was hype.
God.
Gilbert, for those of you guys don't know, Gilbert is our CFO, and he's a huge Arsenal fan. I mean, this guy is just unreal. I don't, it's a horrible team. I don't like them. I think, I don't even think they're that good. But, he was hype. Yeah.
Well, who rubbed it in the next day too was Clarvis, because he's a huge Arsenal fan.
Oh yeah, Ben, our head coach, is a fan of Arsenal too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Those two definitely love to get their jabs in right now. To me and Janos, who are our assistant coach, who are huge Chelsea fans. So we still have that night in Baku, though, boys. Don't worry. So something that's gonna disappoint our striker, our number 9, Newcastle, lost to Manchester City 2-0 away. With this win, City helps keep the pressure up on Arsenal. Phil Foden with a wonder goal, and second half sub Bernardo Silva was enough for the win. Newcastle having a great year, right? But does this hurt their top 4 chances? We'll have to see. You know, what we missed on the other pod due to technical difficulties was, just talking about how Newcastle has stepped it up this year without spending the money, right? They're a cohesive team. Eddie Howe has done amazing with, trying to get these guys to play together. So all credit to them. Newcastle's having a great year, but losing 2-0 away at City, that's no one expects, a lot of teams to go in there and beat City at home unless you're, running the table. But City is always going to be a tough team. So
that's my team.
Yeah.
But that shows you the mentality, right? Of a human being. It
Right.
doesn't matter if you're a professional soccer player or not. You want to be part of a good team, and you play different. Even though you're talented and disciplined and you're a great player, if you're playing for a losing team, you're not gonna you're gonna give 100%, but mentally you're not there, right? Now that you're part of a winning team and you're part, this royal family came in and bottom, and now they're thinking, the sky is the limit. They play better. People just play better. I guarantee you put, and that's at any level, right? You get a player that is great and you put him on like a losing team at this level, and then you bring him over to the Gallos, right? And they know that, we're top notch. They're going to perform better. And that's at any level here, Europe, MLS. I mean, it's the mentality, and I'm happy for Newcastle. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. So another good game on the weekend was Spurs at Wolves. Our good neighbors, Spurs, fall to Wolves 1-0. I'm going to give you guys a little insight. If you ever play me on FIFA, or if I do FIFA manager mode, the first player I always sign is Adama Traore, just because of his speed. But he doesn't score a lot, right? But what happens in this game? Scores the game winner, right? So congrats to Adama Traore on that goal. He brings Wolves 3 points higher, beats Spurs 1-0. Now Spurs losing grip on Champions League places maybe as well. We shall see. There's still plenty of season to go. Still a lot of games to be played. So definitely excited to see how this pans out. And then to round it off, Villa, Brighton, Chelsea, and Southampton all secure wins to give every home team the win on Saturday in the EPL. So we're going to bring it just after England, we're going to bring it to France. So PSG survived a scare to win 4-2 versus Nantes. Goals from Messi and Mbappe helped secure the win. And I think I just heard today that Neymar is out for the year now, for the rest of the season due to surgery. He's out for like 3 to 4 months, which will be the rest of the season due to an injury that needed surgery. So it's a huge blow to PSG. They were definitely.
Do you think he's going? Do you think he's going to go down as a top 5 player ever?
That's tough to say. I mean, top 5 player ever. I think because right now you have Ronaldo and Messi, right? They have to top the list.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking not like in history.
In history.
Do you think he's going to be one of the top 5 greatest players of all time? You're going to have Messi, you're going to have Cristiano, you're going to have Pele, you're going to have, what's his name, Maradona. And I'm sure somebody else. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be top 5 ever.
No, I don't think he'll be there. I mean, he's a great player. He'll definitely be on like a all 11 team maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see him being one of the top players. I think Mbappe would go ahead of him. Truthfully, I mean, everyone just rates Mbappe more than they rate him. And then there's players who, don't get as much credit, but I think have had a better career than him. You know, a player like Wayne Rooney, like the guy was talented, right? Like now he's coaching DC United, but I mean, you know, even Beckham, right? Like why is Beckham not on that list? You know, so
right.
There's just so many good, you know, good prospects over the years, but I just don't see Neymar being in the top 5. So we're gonna go across into Germany now. So Dortmund and Bayern secure wins to keep the Bundesliga title race alive. So Dortmund beat Red Bull Leipzig and Bayern beat Stuttgart. So congratulations to the German side. It's going to be a tight race to the end. Now we're going to go into the Spanish side, where Atletico Madrid 6-1 versus struggling Sevilla and move up to 3rd in La Liga. I think Real Madrid's having a rough time right now after they beat Liverpool 5-2 in the first leg of the Champions League. They've been struggling as of late, so it's definitely making an interesting run for the rest of the clubs over in Spain. So a little bit of South America news. We're gonna go south of the border. Bayern Munich are planning a major South American takeover to help stop the Premier League's transfer dominance. Honestly, that's huge for the German market because the Premier League, you know, I think they have a monopoly when it comes to, you know, getting players from the South, you know, especially with like Brazilians and, you know, all those guys and Argentinians, you know, with Chelsea signing Enzo Fernandez. So
I think they're just South American teams and MLS are just not capable of paying people the amount of money that you get overseas. I mean, it's just that simple. They just can't compete.
And for a business standpoint, the fact that they're, you know, getting into the South American markets, like, you know, that's how it all started with, you know, the Premier League. You know, no one really knew about the Premier League until they got the TV rights with America. So Germany's starting, you know, they started to do that, but I think the Premier League, a lot of it helps with, you know, the fact that it's all English, but you know, it's good for the German leagues to start branching out into the other countries, you know, to get their product out there, just like the Premier League did in the US. So but the German Giants have regularly picked up young talents by their English counterparts or Spanish duo Real Madrid and Barcelona. And the Bundesliga side want to make their market South American market to snap up players. It is understood Bayern are in talks with Uruguayan club River Plate over an alliance. They would aim to be sister clubs, enabling the Bavarians to have their own talent pool, develop rising stars ahead of a move to Europe. I think it's a great move, right? You partner with a club in South America that, you know, you're going to get first right of refusal to these players. So, you know, they're going to get to look at the talent for River Plate, and then River Plate, you know, works out a deal where they're going to send them to the German side before they can send them anywhere else. So, kind of like I guess you could kind of think of it as like a reserve team or a developmental squad. You know, River Plate will get the players and then, you know, move them up to the German squad. So, talks over a 10 to 15 year partnership are said to still be ongoing following the approach by a Uruguayan living in Germany. Bayern would take the lead and oversee the first division Uruguayan club, including their youth, women, and futsal teams. Going on experience, I think futsal is huge. It's definitely going to develop players. So, you know, a lot of like Ronaldo and all the Brazilians, they started playing futsal. So this is huge for Bayern to tap into that market.
Yep.
And the 2020 Champions League winners already have links with Los Angeles FC in the MLS. So getting into that is huge. You know, MLS obviously, you know, a lot of the youngsters, so it's going to give them the opportunity to grab the youngsters, bring them from MLS over to Germany.
Yep. That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, when are we going to get our Mr. CEO? When are we going to get our reserve team for the Gallos?
It's a work in progress, right? We got to make sure that everything is set in stone and stable for the men's team first, for the first team, getting those guys, you know, situated and everything that we want to make it perfect. We're in the right direction, right? everything takes time. So we're going to switch into our weekly review for the Gallos, which is a great transition here. Yeah, so eventually down the line, it'd be great to have a reserve team, but we need to make sure that everything is stable. We're in the right direction. A lot of positive talks with sponsors coming out. And March 25th, I've discussed it with the coaches. We're going to have a tryout to bring some local talent in. The coaches have been doing a tremendous job bringing in talent, so far, and just having a tryout to, see what the city of Arlington and, the DFW area has to bring. We're very excited about that. So March 25th, expect info for the tryout coming this week. And then the schedule is almost done. It's going to be finalized this Thursday. Everything looks good. So once that's finalized, we'll get everything sent out so that you guys can start playing your games. But yeah, everything looks good for the season, and we're rolling on and getting ready to go. So it should be a good time.
Perfect. Sounds good. I'm excited for that. There's going to be, it's a lot of buzz going with the move with Arlington. Yep. I've been looking at the emails. There's so many guys trying out and a lot of great talent. So yeah, it should be a great season for the Gallos.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited. I mean, we've had discussions with youth organizations in the Arlington community, and they're excited, just to be able to partner with us and, just to come to games and have an affordable family fun event. So overall, the whole move to Arlington has been positive in so many ways, and we're just so excited about it. So
perfect. Sounds good. So any other major soccer headlines worldwide before we go?
Nothing.
The Champions League returns, right?
Yes. Tomorrow, Chelsea versus Dortmund. But Champions League is returning. And then
Super Sunday, Liverpool versus Man United.
Yeah, so that was this past Sunday, and I think we should talk about that because
I thought that was I thought it was next week.
No, because Liverpool they played.
Oh my God! Here, this is it. There we go. And that's how much I know about this fucking dates. I'm all over the place.
So let's just say, if you do your math correctly, Liverpool scored a touchdown and an extra point over Man United.
Really?
So it was 1-0 at the halftime, and then Liverpool put 6 behind Man United to take a 7-0 victory.
Jesus.
I don't think anyone expected that, to be honest.
Wow.
But guys like Cody Gakpo and Salah actually scored. So Liverpool, they're creeping up. I don't know if this was just a one-time thing or if Liverpool's back, but
they've always been a force to reckon with.
Yeah,
they've always been a force. Like they're just mentally, they're that team that just doesn't go away.
Right.
They're always competitive, man.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter who they have healthy, who's on the roster. They're always competitive. They can beat any team any day.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then one thing we did miss, EPL. Brentford beat Fulham today, 3-2. I know our Gallos fan, Eddie Middlebrook. I do apologize for that because he's a huge Fulham fan. So tough luck for him. Ivan Toney scores a penalty for Brentford, and they win 3-2. Fulham made it interesting towards the end, scoring a goal late in stoppage time, but unfortunately, it just wasn't to be today. So, but Fulham, I can't believe the year they're having. Just a tremendous year. Basically a championship side last year, and they're fighting for a Champions League spot this year. So, all credit to Fulham; they're having a fantastic season.
Yep. Awesome. So we're looking great with the Gallos. I'm very excited. The team that we put together, man, it's unbelievable off the field.
You're goddamn right.
On the field, I'm very excited to see. I know you work with the coaches, bringing in talent, and we got the now Cody Wan's going to be our goalkeeper coach. And we brought another coach, right? What's his name?
Yes. So Ross from MSU will be coaching us this year.
That's awesome.
Ross is going to do tremendous. I'm sorry, not Ross, Patty. Ross was going to come in, but it'll just be Patty this year. So
it's phenomenal. I mean, those minds, they're just hungry, coaches. I posted something on my Instagram today, a picture of my text, and I say, give them to me hungry and I'll make them rich. I mean, those guys are hungry.
My killers who will not take no for an answer. My fucking warriors.
I loved, the passion they have behind the sport. So that's I'm excited about that. I also want to mention that I spoke to Danny, our he's a number 10, right?
Yeah, we put him at number 10.
He's a number 10. By far one of the most talented players I've ever been a presence and gotten to know personally. I mean, I've seen, Messi play, live, Cristiano and all them, but him, like the relationship that I have with him, it's, I'm so, I can't even describe how excited I am that he's going to come back. A lot of teams were after him, trying to get him to go play, for them. But I spoke to him, his mother, and they're committed to us. He's going to stay another season with us.
The show goes on! This is my home! They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here!
And I'm so happy that he's back. So such a great talent. By far, and I'll say it, by far the best player in the league. I mean, no, hands down, the best player in the league. So I'm excited about that. I keep hearing great things with I just had lunch with Gilbert, our CFO, yesterday, and he was telling me the talent that he has got recruited so far, and he's so excited. So I'm pumped. And when he tells me that players are good, they're good. I mean, this guy's been playing soccer all his life, and he's he's smart. That's the reason he's the CFO of the club. And but yeah, every time he tells me someone's good, he's good. He's the one that told me about Danny, right? He goes, bro, this is another level of talent. So, but I don't take anything away from the rest of the guys. I mean, the talent that we had last year and years before that, it's unbelievable, right? To be able to get those type of players, especially when you're just starting a brand, it's crazy. I don't know if we haven't mentioned it, but Brandon, he signed a professional contract. We put it on our social media so you guys can see that. He signed a personal contract with El Salvador. So that guy, I've always said it, even when we interviewed him on other podcasts, he's just the fire that he puts in when he plays. That's what draws me to watching him. Right, because he's big, tall, and when you have to use your body, right? You have to make presence that you're here, you're gonna take over. And that guy, he does it at every game, right? That fire is there at every game. I have not seen him play. I've seen him get rattled, right? I mean, a lot of players get rattled sometimes, but I have not seen him have a game where he's not in it, So Absolutely. That's awesome, and I'm so happy that he's going pro now, and he's going over there. Such a big commitment, by the way, from somebody that age to go to another country. I mean, we see it happening all the time, on TV, but just being closer to someone, it's an understanding, family and everything you do. It's crazy. Like, I'm happy. Such a great journey for him coming up, and I'm excited. We'll stay in touch with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we have, you've done such an amazing job moving the club to Arlington, Texas now, which is going to be the new home for the Gallos. I'm sure we'll have a schedule for the fans, and we'll have all these things coming up for the fans. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for what's coming this season. We're going to stay with this podcast weekly. And like I said, we have some hosts. We'll try to get together, make it more entertaining for you guys. Like I said, we'll keep it as nice as possible and entertaining as possible, so we can so you guys can enjoy the show and have something to listen to throughout the day, and just bring you information about the club, and also about overseas, like we said, the MLS, and we did today. So we're very excited. We're gonna put a lot of work into this and kind of change things up, and not try to get too drunk on the podcast like we used to, and get a little wild, but we'll keep it nice. So that's it for us today. Anything else you want to add, Scotty, before we go?
No, just stay tuned for our social media platforms this week and the next. We're going to be putting out some special announcements. We did have a special event a couple of weeks ago that we would like to thank 225 Barbecue, 601 East Main Street. They were tremendous in helping us put this event together. I think it went very well with the Chamber of Commerce, just, announcing that, we're coming to Arlington. So all the credit to 225 Barbecue. Fantastic food. I think I've eaten a lot of barbecue in the past few weeks.
Yes.
And,
Unbelievable barbecue.
It's delicious. So definitely check out 225 Barbecue, the old Mavericks, for those who live in Arlington. Get your barbecue plate. Tell them the guy sent you. And just have a good week, everyone. Let's get it, as Eddie says. And just keep following social media platforms.
All right. Well, that's it for us today. Thank you for listening to El Gallinero. We're going to keep it rolling. Have a good day.